Yes,
I can understand where if it's not true, brother, you're gonna have to walk that shit back.
dude. I ain't mad at the brother.
Yeah, because he didn't say
'Cause,
that shit about you.
dude, these
That's exactly
Negroes
why you're not mad.
are out
That's
there
exactly why you're not mad.
making their money, and I'm happy for them. And if Cat Williams wants to help Shannon Sharp
Mm-hmm.
have a 50 million viewed video, then power to him. I'm not upset with that. Not upset at all. What's up, Robotech? How you doing? Who am I to be upset with his success? Shake, are you not moving?
I'm fucking with
Oh,
you.
that was so mean. What's up, hero? Hold on. Let me see what I'm missing. Robotech still at you. She like, am I a simp? She didn't forget that conversation.
Early. We
Get
starting
him.
early.
Get
Lord,
him.
we starting early. I see. Damn, boy. What's his face not getting in here? I know I heard the ding.
Yeah. Apparently, the young man has some setting up to do.
Young man, he older than me. There ain't nothing young about that nigga.
Wow. And you talking about her getting started. You getting started.
It's cold in this room.
Oh, could be negative. I think we got to -4 with a wind chill of under -20.
Mm. It wasn't that bad, I'll tell you much. We weren't that bad.
Dude, I'm
Y'all
just
smoking
happy
crack.
we did not lose power because I was really expecting to. Because we had actually lost power the day before when it wasn't bad.
Mm.
We did lose our hot water though. That things.
Mm.
Yeah, we got to get
So you had to boil some hot water?
Nah. The hot water heater would go on and off. Well, go off and we'd have to turn it back on. So eventually I would just turn it on so we could shower.
Is that hero trying to speak? Oh. My God, you sound terrible. I mean, worse than normal.
Wow, worse than normal.
This is how you choose to start it.
He's coming with violence today, I see. Yeah, right after MLK Day, you know what I mean? Right after it.
Hey, come on. Martin Luther King Boulevard is normally the most violent street in any city.
And followed by Malcolm X. Don't get disrespectful. I mean, at least the Malcolm X one makes sense. I mean, it was about that action. Yeah, Malcolm as well was about that action at the end.
At the end, man.
Yeah, literally at the end. Not soon enough.
It should have been about that. Wow. They both should have put some more points into their defense stats.
Well, I mean, at least Malcolm, you can understand. Like, he didn't expect his own homies to do him dirty like that, right? He did like he
The
didn't expect his
FBI
own
warned MLK, maybe you should do it before we have to.
For real, right? Malcolm didn't even get the warning. His own people did this, right? The FBI's like, we don't even need to touch you, bruh. Wow. Like, we not gonna.
Oh my God. That's where we getting started. All right. Well,
Oh,
good.
my bad.
How much time do we have?
Robo, I'm sorry. Am I a simp?
We got 7 minutes, y'all.
Technically, Robo. Technically. I forgot to answer your question. My bad. It's my fault. I really do feel bad.
I don't know if you want to answer that right now.
Well, she's mad at me too later now, so.
All right, guys, we are actually streaming to YouTube as well. I'm using Restream.
Oh, welcome to the club.
I had an account, but they weren't that good. Well, as good as I needed them to be back in the day.
YouTube is never
really
going to be that good.
No, not YouTube. Restream.
Chat.
Oh.
If you're trying to get the collective chat, that's when they become useful. But
yeah,
other than that, like Streamlabs is making their own in-house one is making a great argument for the best one, but clearly their app is underpowered.
Robotech, how are you voting?
I have Nilski. Thank you, Robo. Thank you, 5 Nilski and Phasers. You know, will there be VODs on YouTube? Full VODs or just clips? That is a question for the bald-headed one.
Yeah, I heard.
I'm just the on-screen talent.
Oh, let me see it.
Or don't answer the question. Lord. He there talking to someone off screen. Now unmuted. Not even looking. He talking about me when I don't look on that camera?
Bruh.
I was gonna say, Shake. I was like, Shake, is this your younger child in the chat?
Oh, that's my boy. That's my boy.
So your boy loved you that much, he got your same name?
No. So it's actually his. So he streamed years ago, right? A different video game. So I used to just hop in his chat with the trolling nickname, with the same troll nickname as him, right? So I stole his troll name. He was Phasers well before me, right? He was Phasers long before me. And then I, as a troll, stole it.
Whatever you guys do in your bedroom is your business.
So I was looking at that Phasers in the chat thinking it was Shake.
I was thinking it was Shake too. I'm like,
maybe it was on the same thing.
But Phasers, welcome. Thank you for being here.
10 years later,
I'm his father. Hey, facts. You say I'm your daddy. I'm not baby's pappy.
Shake, I am your father.
I'm the pappy.
All right.
But for real though,
what's up?
Will there be full VODs on YouTube, or will this be like broken into segments? Okay.
Yeah, these segments ain't working because I'm doing it incorrectly. But as we were speaking earlier,
exactly what you are doing incorrectly.
Hey, I'm real enough to admit it. And damn it, this is an updated file. Oh.
No one asked you to admit it. That's the problem. People be admitting things they don't need to admit. The truth does not always set you free, right? Like Kevin Hart said, lie, right?
Bruh.
I was thinking about that. He's like, yes and no, but you kind of. He's like, that man, he kind of cooking.
I'm a vet.
Right?
Hey, the amount of lies I've told at work, it just doesn't add up. Like,
I mean, how you got your job was a lie.
The amount of lies I've told at work. Wow.
There's people who think I have kids. There are people who think I live in like my family's from California. Like, because when people ask me, like, the max questions you're allowed to ask me before you get to the point of the conversation is one. So if you have a follow-up, it's immediately going to be like, so Hero, how was your weekend? Fine. And then you follow up, how's the family? You know, they're still out in California, so I don't see them much. Oh,
I love it.
Anyway.
I love it.
Lying straight through his teeth.
Yeah.
That's classic. I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah,
so like how was your weekend?
There's no need for us to pretend no need for us to pretend that I care about. And whenever they ask questions, my favorite ones when they ask me to do something. Hey, yeah, we went on vacation to Disneyland. So what they are praying you ask is, can I see pictures? And I'd be like, that sounds great. So how can I help you? And that shit just irritates. I know that burns them. I know that brings them to a place where they're not happy.
You know what grinds my gears?
Grinds my
Right? And I'll
gears.
say this. Yeah, I'm gonna steal a Family Guy reference, right?
Oh Lord.
As someone without children, right? The idea that people with children, they entirely think of, even let's say you're planning something, right? And they're
Hey,
going to
Dyson.
bring their child, which is fine, right? But if the majority of the people going as well are adults without children, you're in the minority, my friend.
Yeah, like
Right?
airplanes.
Thank you. Why, as the majority of us without children, have to cater to you who made your mistake? Right?
Oh,
Why do I need to
oh my
suffer?
God.
Wait, we're calling kids
Some of
mistakes
them
right
are.
now,
I
Shake?
didn't say,
And I'm
okay,
going
sorry.
to,
Shake,
Not
and I'm
all
going to
kids. Not
agree
all
Shake
with
kids.
has
Shake.
5 points, everybody. Feel free to take all 5 of those points before the start of the stream. This man's starting off like this.
Oh,
Okay, it's
your boy's
8:15.
acting up again, I see.
Let me go ahead and reset the votes.
Wait, really? I got it. Oh, no. So he got the downvote. Thank you, Dyson. He understood. See, the chat respects. I speak for the heart of the chat. Like you go with the heart of the card.
Yeah.
I am the heart of the chat. Right? That's what I am.
Yeah,
Yeah, Eye of the
you
Tiger
picked
and
the
all that.
Yu-Gi-Oh reference. You should lose a negative point for that too.
Yu-Gi-Oh! What's wrong with a Yu-Gi-Oh reference?
Oh
Y'all is
Lord, let
disrespectful.
me
I
hop
don't
in
like
here before y'all go wherever the hell y'all going. Welcome to Icon Talks. I am your moderator, Icon, and today, as usual, we have the great Coding with Strangers hero. Please introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? I'd like to remind everyone that Mia Khalifa, one of the most profound sex entertainers, had been advocating for Palestine in front of a mall or something like that, and Karen walked up with her of-age son to harass her. And that son had the most perplexed look on his face because in that very moment he had to decide if his mother decided to fight one of his favorite porn stars, what he would do. Protect the woman he pleasures him today or protects the woman that raised him yesterday. And men, we all know what we're choosing in that situation. Free Palestine.
I
So,
was gonna go a very different cold opener, right? But I'm gonna piggyback over here and say that kid's face, right? Because his mom is going in on me, talking about, yo, you're so wrong, this, that, and the third. And you see that kid just standing frozen because he is now seeing probably at one point his favorite porn adult actress, right? Right in front of him, 2 feet in front of him. Man wants a picture. But this is the worst time as his
He
mother's
wants a
yelling to
picture.
him
He
about
wants a
whether
picture.
genocide is right or wrong. And yet they're on camera
Yes.
arguing about whether genocide of children is right or wrong. And this kid is thinking to myself, God, do I want a picture of Mia Khalifa? Right. And for the chat, every 17-year-old boy would have been the exact same position. Think of who you were and who your favorite adult actress was or actor was, depending on your relation, right? At that period of time. You would have been just as frozen, just as deer in the headlights as that boy. I feel bad for that kid.
Yeah. Tough
Shake,
situation.
while you're on your little monologue, would you like to introduce yourself to the chat?
Oh, I'm Shake. You already know who it is. You know what I mean? As always, I had 5 points, and then somehow I went to -1 point while disrespectful. Someone took my 5 points away.
At 8:15, I reset the votes because that's when the show started.
Oh, so I won today? Sounds good to me.
And to be
I won the
fair,
pre-show.
I also voted for you to get rid of that down vote that someone just randomly threw out there. So,
oh no,
that's,
I just saw big boy's message. That is crazy.
Yeah, I saw that too. But
It's
I
so
knew
wild. It's so wild.
I knew our hero would save the day.
It's just one of the like big boy. You have to be an idiot, right? You have to be an idiot. Like that's your first comment. That's your first comment. How high is your lifted truck?
What?
Okay.
Please
Yesterday was the observance of Dr. Martin Luther King. And one thing I always say about him and the people during the civil rights movement, they gave up their lives. They did a lot to give us the right to do the things that we can do now. But one thing they gave us the right to do is actually be stupid. But that is something we should not take advantage of. And there's a lot of people that we know that, Shake, you're making that face like we're not in Xbox parties all day with people who take the right to be stupid too seriously.
No, you're right. Now I'm thinking about it. When you put it that way, you're right. You're right.
You know, all
You're
these
right.
people
But continue,
have
continue.
given up their lives, have given up everything they had to fight for us, to give us what we currently have. And you think the best thing to do with that is to throw it away by being stupid. So yes, Dr. King gave us the right to be stupid. That doesn't mean we need to utilize it. He also gave us the right to do a lot of other things, and maybe that's what we should be pursuing. And with that being said, let's move on to our first topic, our icebreaker. Hero, what would life be like the day after the purge? After everyone has had a free day of killing anyone they want to kill, that next day, what would life be like?
Depending on how many rich people we could actually get our hands on, it could be extremely great. Or depending on how many degenerates the world really has, it could also be great. There's a big part of me that believes, like, that whole idea of being able to take your frustration isn't with your job, it isn't with traffic, it's with the people who create and make that. If you got beef with your neighbor, I implore you to go find out where one of the Walts live and exact your revenge on those people, because the reason why your groceries are expensive isn't because the baby in the third story of your apartment keeps crying at all hours of the night. If it just depends on how many people we can get our hands on.
Shake, the day after the purge, what would life be like?
Probably worse than the day of the purge, the night of the purge. And let me explain, right? So yes, the night would be far more chaotic. Like adrenaline's pumping. You got to worry about, am I gonna die or am I doing some killing, right? But the day after, well, everybody's got to go back to just normal, regular ass life, right? So imagine you go into the office and you're like, hey, like you said, that boring ass water cooler talk. What did you do? Oh, just a little murder last night. Oh, I protected my family, right? You come in with cuts and bruises. People know exactly what you were doing, right? Like anything about the purge.
And that's why I would lie.
It's all fair game. So like everybody has to know, like you went out there murdering, right? Just murdering, raping, pillaging, looting, being a pirate, right? Being a 1300 pirate, being the worst version of a human being as possible, right? And you got to go back the very next morning, wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, shower, shave, put on a monkey suit, right? To get in the office by 8 o'clock in the morning. Your boss is now harassing you. You don't have coffee yet. You still have blood stains underneath your nails, right? And all you're thinking of, damn, I should have killed my boss yesterday. That's all you're thinking is I missed the shot, and now it's 364 days of your boss gets to rag on you, and you don't get nothing. I think the day after is the worst, right? Because imagine you have like cars are crashed in the middle of your commute. It's longer than ever. It's worse than the day of. It's worse.
Okay, riddle me this. What rule would you change or add to the purge?
If you make less than the poverty line, any benefit, any cash stolen in excess is given to them.
Whoa. So I go the opposite direction. I think if you make less than the poverty line, you shouldn't get the purge. Get your money up. Ooh. You don't have the funds to purge, my guy.
I like that, Shake.
You don't actually pay taxes. If you may file taxes, but you don't actually pay federal income taxes, you don't get the purge, right? You might not get like hunted because like life hunts you in general. But us middle America, like rich, and like poor people, you don't get the purge. It's for us middle class people who actually get squeezed the most, right? Who just squeezed by the bottom and the top. That is our day to really blow off steam. Let me loot a Starbucks. I want to burn down a car dealership once a year, right? And then guess what? I'll go back to the grindstone, right? Go back to my job that I hate. It's not for poor. It's not for the rich, right? It should just be for us middle class.
No, I take this back. I take this all the way back. if you're making below poverty line, whatever rich person you kill, you get to become. And we'll pretend like they never, and we'll pretend like nothing ever changed. So if I mark Jeff Bezos, everybody will know me as Jeff Bezos from that day forward. No one will act any different. They'll have to assume their identity, and everyone has to play along with it. I like that one way better.
So in your scenario, so if the year out, so let's say you cap Bezos this year, right? So you for a year, you're Bezos. You get to be with Lauren Sanchez. You got like $180 billion in the bank. You can live it up. But next year, you know you got to be on business because guess what? I'm still branding this year.
Hey, facts. So all you've told me, Shake, is I have 1 year to get rid of billions of dollars. Yeah,
I won't be a problem for me. Like, I'm just going by your scenario, bro. I'm just asking in your scenario, right? If like you're a target now, right? If you become rich, right? Because you clipped a rich person, right? And you become that guy. Like legitimately, people just and you don't change skin color. You look exactly the same. You're just now Jeff Bezos, right? They interact with you with Jeff Bezos. All his mail now goes to your house. You move into his old house, X, Y, and Z. But guess what? I'm gunning for you the year after. You better get your security up.
But no, not only am I not worried about security, I still got thunder and lightning right here. I would invite Shake over, in fact. Not invite Shake over. No.
Pre-purge, after the purge, all of it.
Come on.
Hero, your audio's getting muffled.
Oh.
All right, there we go.
Nah, that would be the worst day, like the day after. But the purge, I mean, it's not like we're not close. It's just not sanctioned.
Yeah, it's 2024.
You just got to figure out how. If the government can figure out how to tax a purge, right? Like if they can build a giant arena.
Hold on. So Dyson says, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Dyson says, does that mean if they have kids, you now have kids?
Yeah, I'm daddy.
Exactly. His wife just got to accept.
I'm the pappy.
Yep.
I'm the pappy now.
Lauren. Jeff is, I got tan. I'm Italian. You didn't know that?
Not only do I get tan, I got a third leg now.
That's good.
That's good.
Okay. She's going to be real happy.
Yeah, so we're going to move on to Champ and Chump. Shake, who is your Champ and Chump so far of 2024?
Oh, Champ has got to be Shannon Sharp, right? This man is just winning just basically for the last 9 months since his leave from Skip Bayless, right? He gets the bombshell interview to open up 2024 in Cat Williams. Regardless of whether you believe how much of Cat Williams say, that video did like 40 million in like 50 hours. 40 million views in 50 hours. And that's just on his channel. That's not including all the people who did restreams of it and reaction videos. He even said his producers knew after the Cat Williams walked away, we have gold. They knew it, right? They knew this was something. So he's definitely winning 2024, in my opinion. But Chump, I mean, I got to go with Nikki Haley, Mm-hmm. I got to, Nikki Haley, what's her name? Nikita? Because she has an Indian, she's really Indian. She's not white, in case people need to forget. It more just shows, no matter how much you try and whitewash yourself, you still going to lose to an actual white man. Right? No matter how much you as a minority woman whitewash yourself, guess what? An underqualified white man is going to beat you badly every single time. An underqualified white man who can't even smile is going to beat you every time.
You sure it wasn't because she didn't know what the Civil War was about?
I don't think her voters care
about what this is. Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's a different conversation. So that's my champion for
so Hero. We're only 2 weeks into 2024, but so far, who is your champ and who is your Trump of 2024?
Well, for sure. Just rubbing off a Shake here. Every Republican, because as of today, all the Republicans have decided that Donald Trump, convicted rapist by law, by definition, has been found guilty of rape, bankrupt, fundraiser for cancer babies stealer, maniacal psychotic goon has now been put as their front runner, and everyone clapped and cheered in Iowa. So good job, Republicans. Just know throughout the year and for the remainder of my life, probably, if you tell me you're a Republican, I'm gonna ask you a Trump Republican. If you say no, I'm gonna say, well, you don't really have much of a choice now, do you? But neither here or there. My hero this year are all the megalomaniacs digging holes. Have you guys seen the amount of people who have been digging holes throughout the world and what it's cost them? There's a Jewish Hasidic community out in New York that has been digging a hole underneath the boroughs, and the line of conspiracies for why they are doing this and not getting to the core fact of the matter is, if you see a person digging a hole and you're a man, you're gonna join in too. Because I don't know if you've ever been to a beach before, but I've seen a mother lover dig a hole, and once they started digging, I just joined them. I didn't know their names at the end of it. I didn't have any tools when I started, but somehow, some way, I became the project manager for digging the hole on the east side port of that beach that day, and I got a promotion because we dug that hole. Also, a guy dug that Jesus piece out there in Brazil. He dug a hole that deep in his house, in his kitchen, and then slipped and fell through it, looking for gold from a dream that he had earlier in the day. So it's just amazing to me how many people are digging holes in this world. There's a lady also, and I think in PA, who dug a hole underneath her basement in her house. So shout out to all the people digging holes. Keep digging.
Real heroes. Real heroes out there.
Real heroes, yeah.
I gotta say this.
Wait, pause real quick. Can we address that guy who dug a hole in his kitchen? That hole was 120 feet deep. Yeah.
How did he not hit anything that important?
Like, my man had a dream, right? Like, when I thought that, I was like, oh, it was like a little 6-foot hole. You could technically fall. He's like 60 something. Like, he fall, he hit his neck, like a little, and it's over. But when I read the story, there was like, no, that hole was like 40 meters. I was like, wait, I did the math in my head, and I'm like, 40 meters? That's like 130 something feet. I'm like, yo, kudos for a 60-something-year-old man to just one day say, I have a dream. Speaking of MLK, I have a dream that one day I will find gold underneath my kitchen. And he, like MLK, became a martyr to his dream. Respect. You know what?
I don't think that's the type of.
What do you mean?
That wow. Therapy with T says he was Shawshanking.
Don't you just hate it when motherfuckers just throw the black fist on anything? Man digging for gold. Yeah, I'm Black Power. We down for that. We down for that.
All right. Wow. I'm glad you interrupted me because I was about to say something I maybe should not have said on stream. But playthings of millionaires. Elizabeth Warren says lawmakers need a raise so that Congress isn't considered the playthings of multimillionaires and billionaires. Sheikh, does Congress need a raise?
Are you asking me as the person who pays their bill, or is it me as if I was a congressman? Because me as the person who pays their bill, they already make $177K a year plus lifetime benefits, health benefits for, like, again, repeat, lifetime. So no, they don't need a raise. But if I was a congressman, of course I'm gonna say I need a raise. Of course. Don't you all say as soon as you get a raise, I can use another raise? No one says, guess what, boss? I don't need another raise. Thank you. Pump the brakes on giving me more money. I'm good, right? And it's funny that this is from Elizabeth Warren, who I think, besides Nancy Pelosi, right, has done the most trading while on the Congressional Hill, like Wall Street trading, which is basically is insider trading. It's legal insider trading. She has made the most. So she's already at the whim of hectomillionaires and billionaires.
Hero, what say you?
You know, I would believe there's an old saying, taxation without representation is just theft, right? So in this line of thought, you want to stop your colleagues and your peers from being playthings of millionaires. You know, you guys do control the capacity and the ability to make laws so that is not a thing. Just vote to have money taken out of politics. Instead of you thinking of a way to enrich yourself, why don't you just think of a way of bettering the system for everybody? But it would be too much. It would be too easy for us to assume that the goodness of any party member, whether blue hat or red hat, has your interest at heart. That's why I commit, if there's a purge, I'd pay an extra 100,000 for every congressperson you could take out and assume the position and vote accordingly. There's an option here, people. We can make this happen.
Okay, one of the things that what is this lady's name again? Elizabeth Warren was pointing at.
Oh,
really, Shake?
I don't get a vote for that joke. Wow.
Stop vote fishing. Stop vote fishing.
Okay, so one of the things she was pointing at is that at a salary of $177K per year, it's still hard to maintain 2 homes. And I'm thinking, how am I supposed to relate to that?
Yeah.
So you need a home where you live, where you originally live, and then you need a home in Washington. I don't know if that's my issue. But she was also stating, which I do agree with, if they are getting paid more, they won't take as many bribes, as many legal bribes from lobbyists, which I disagree with. I'm sorry, go ahead, Hero.
That's entirely ridiculous. Yeah, I got paid allowance. You think I didn't go to school and still hustle my artwork to make more money? That's the whole reason why. There's no and as a person who has looked down at a paycheck and seen multiple zeros for playing one football game, and a person who also then worked 100 hours in a COVID hospital and saw not enough goddamn zeros, I can say without a shadow of doubt, the ability for you to want money more than what you need, than what you absolutely need. And I'm not just talking about eating ramen noodles. I'm talking about you're comfortable. That's a disease. That is a mental disorder. People who desire to exacerbate their way of living through money, that's a mental disorder. You can't, and I'm not taking any professional advice from somebody like that.
Okay, so this article says, since 2009, members of the House and Senate have been paid an annual salary of $174,000. Though that is more than 80% of what American households make as a salary, that hasn't kept pace with inflation. So now we're going to
crazy. Yo, that's crazy.
And some Congress people have been unable to pay their bills at times.
One of the greatest things that I've suggested for the longest, one of the things I've suggested for a long time, you as a congressperson should make the average of your constituents, period. So if you're from Kentucky and the average household income is $34,000, guess what? What's the racist turtle's name?
The racist turtle? I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
The one that keeps freezing, that keeps glitching. What's his name?
I can't remember the name, but I know you're talking about the green dude.
I can't remember the racist turtle's name. Oh my God.
And I don't want to look that up.
Mitch McConnell.
Oh, Mitch McConnell. Okay.
I thought you meant the cartoon character. Really?
Yo, so real quick.
McConnell does look like a racist turtle.
The same thing that my boss's boss told me when we only got a 4% rate of raise, right? And I was like, well, the rate of inflation last year was 8%. He's like, well, you should be glad you got one. That is crazy that she had the nerve to say, well, we haven't got rate of inflation. You know what? And the Republican in me is saying, well, nigga, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, Elizabeth. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. You know what I mean? You just gotta work harder. You know what I mean? Stop being lazy. It's all that reefer you're smoking. If you stop with the reefer smoking and the $7 coffees, your generation can have shit too. Isn't that what their generation said about us? Right? If you stop doing the shit you want to do and do the shit you have to do, you can make money too. You can afford those 2 fucking homes.
Except it's all fun. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
except it's
I'm
all
sorry.
fun and games when we realize they literally control everything. These are a group of people that will die with more collective wealth on them than probably 60% of the whole entire population of America. And that's something to definitely think on. Like as whatever argument she's making for the rate of inflation, we have homeless veterans. We have homeless veterans who are having mental breakdowns. We talk back to and this is a tangent, but we talk back to last year when that guy went into the bowling alley and killed 18 people, not knowing that he had been previously trying to check himself into a mental facility because he was a cannon tester, and basically the reverberations of the shockwave melted his brain, and he didn't get any funding. But we're over here talking about Elizabeth Warren wanting to pay for her second house. How much is your rent right now?
Well, I got my second mortgage is $5,600 a month, and I haven't paid off my first home, and I have an Airbnb rental that I haven't paid off. So like, first world problems, and I'm sorry, brokey, get your money up, not your funny up, bro.
All right, let's move on. I live in Michigan, and in Michigan,
Sorry to hear that.
employers are responsible for taking reasonable steps to prevent accidents and protect the health and safety of their employees. Several other states have those same rules. If an employer fails to provide a safe working environment and an employee is injured as a result, the employee may be able to bring workman compensation claims or personal injury lawsuits against the employer. So a while ago, we talked about an article where someone was suing their insurance because they got an STD while having sex in a car. So they were going after their car insurance to actually pay for that, which amazed me that actually made it in front of a judge, but it did. So now we have an exotic dancer who chose to have sex at the club with one of the patrons, and she contracted an STD. She is suing the club because she got an STD, and she's suing on the lines of they did not provide a safe work environment. Hero, I'm gonna let you go first.
Well, I think I'll take this to court, and I would gladly defend her. Your Honor, I have a few questions about this establishment. Do the rules and regulations, the bylaws say that anything received upon this premises should be received consensually? If so, in our guidelines, we recommend that our patrons come with their own protection, or in a BY, bring your own condom situation, or do you provide that to your staff? Now, seeing that all condoms not made equal and neither is all men, were they providing appropriate size? Because if you're dealing with the third leg like a baseball bat, you might not be hitting every single crack in any of that situation. So I like to say, if the court would allow me, that if she was forced to serve as a patron that she could not provide proper protection for, Your Honor, she must receive everything. Because if the condom don't fit, y'all must pay that shit. You feel me?
If the condom don't fit, you must pay that shit. Hold up, that needs to be on a t-shirt. So and this is why Judge Icon, this is why this frivolous lawsuit needs to be dismissed. Because I believe under the state of Michigan, right, you are not allowed to promote the sale of sex. So my business owner, right, is just running a strip club, not a brothel, right? On no place on the premises do we provide contraception for our dancers to do this extracurricular activity, right? And what she decides to do on my property is illegal. If anything, she should be arrested for promoting. Actually, I'm pressing charges on her. I want to countersue for potentially ruining my business. What she did is highly illegal, right? Because there's actually a lawsuit that's going on in the state that I live of, and they nearly shut down the strip club that I used to frequent back in the day, Club 35.
Now,
right?
Your Honor, Judge Icon, objection. Now, if we're allowed to put cameras in the ladies' changing room to protect your assets, I don't understand why you didn't have a problem putting cameras in the necessary rooms to also protect your assets. As we see that the clientele is almost responsible for all tips, wages, and effects of assets within the room, you are more than obligated to protect those assets. Film it, and you wouldn't have a problem with this lawsuit right now.
Your objection is
I'm not
overruled
obligated.
because we do not want, and I say this because I'm a judge and judges do bad things. We do not want cameras in the restrooms. We know how judges get down in the restrooms. We do not want judges being caught in the restroom, so no cameras in the restroom. You may continue, Sheikh.
And even if this was a brothel, I'm not obligated to provide you with condoms. That could be part of the uniform that needs to be provided by the employee, right? Unless it's a uniform, I think by OSHA standard, right? Actual code. Unless it's a part of the uniform that's going to put the employee well out, which condoms are not, that is provided by the employee. Just like if you work in a restaurant, you have to buy your own shoes most of the time. So again, Your Honor, we need to dismiss this frivolous lawsuit by this dirty bird, right, who's doing dirty illegal things in my legal tax-paying IEN having establishment for my client.
Well,
Disgusting.
if you allow this to happen, if you allow this to happen, Your Honor, may I remind you that she paid her taxes and dues from those tips. And unless there's a way of you differentiating the money that you've acquired for that establishment from her own money, you must also pay in supplementary all monies. So unless you're willing to tax the house, I don't want to see any argument there.
Okay, well, I think at this point, I think we've actually legally argued this case, and I think it's a thrown out on both sides, right? I think both sides walk away. She just walks away with an STD, right? Because like honestly, right? We'll settle on the court. Like, hey, how much was the penicillin, right? How much was the right? I'll see you at work on Tuesday. All right, handshake. Let's be done. Cool. We'll put condoms in the bathroom. I'll pay your penicillin bill. I'll see you at work on Tuesday. Right? You got the dinner shift on Tuesday. We're good.
So let me make sure I got this straight. We're going to settle this with condoms and cameras. Do I have this right? Condoms and cameras.
No cameras. No cameras.
No cameras. Condoms will be fine.
Okay.
Condoms are fine, and we're paying the penicillin. The hospital say we don't pay just the cost of the penicillin. Just the cost of penicillin. We're settling out of court.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
I'm glad we got that together.
What did I just learn? You learned how to legally argue and counter argue whether the business is liable for an employee catching an STD while working at their strip club. That's what you just learned, Robo. And what do you say, people? Act like you don't learn things here.
All right, the good, the bad, the ugly. We have Trump with magnets, dictionaries, and Xboxes. So for this section, the host will tell us, is the subject matter good, bad, or ugly? Let's hop into it. Our first one. Trump is mocked after claiming that magnets don't work underwater. Now, from what I understand, the Navy is choosing to use magnets to pull ships from one place to another. And Donald Trump is a bit upset by that, saying they should use John Deere because John Deere builds good equipment. And to emphasize that point, he said magnets don't even work underwater. Sheikh, you look just as confused as Trump was when he said it. What say you? Good, bad, ugly?
No, I'm more just thinking he just be saying shit. I mean, it's good. He just be saying shit, right? And I know why he said the John Deere comment, because he was in Iowa, right? Corn country. Sure. So he's pandering to his base. But that's why I love him, because he just be saying shit. That's why that's good to me. Because he just be just saying, like, the jumps that he does. I'm in Iowa, farm country. John Deere is a major contractor and job supplier in Iowa. Guess what the military is not using? Iowa products. Let me say some outlandish shit to get the crowd on my side. And that's why I love it. To me, that's good. That's not bad. It's not the worst thing he's ever said. Like, come on, man. That's not that big of a deal. That's good. Come on, let's keep it moving.
Okay, so hero to the statement. Trump, magnets don't work in water. Good, bad, or ugly?
This is also good because it just shows you this is what a 70-plus-year-old individual looks like running the country. His diaper is full of shit, his brain is full of shit, and everything that comes out of his mouth is full of shit. also, to mention John Deere in Iowa is almost taboo because they have the same thing that the iPhones used to have, which is the right to repair. That just recently got removed, so now that people can repair their own iPhones. John Deere has a monopoly in Iowa, and if you've ever driven through Iowa, I apologize. That's one of the worst flat drives you've ever met in your life. But there's literally billboard signs saying John Deere was given like Satan made John Deere signs. Like you could see them all by. So like it's so weird, but like this is just hilarious because this is what the Republican Party has chosen to pick them. My question is, what did he mean if it wasn't Magnus? Because there's literally a parlay about this betting. What do you think he actually meant? Like if it wasn't Magnus, I think he meant batteries.
No way.
I think he meant batteries.
Let me correct myself because I did explain this a little wrong. So for the people who of course haven't read this article, Donald Trump was criticizing a decision made by the Navy to use giant magnets to lift elevators by plane onto an aircraft carrier, which of course is floating on water. He was criticizing that because he said they could use equipment from the Midwestern company John Deere. Just need to clarify that.
Navy, John Deere, Iowa. Where would we find water big enough that the Navy is operating? He doesn't understand geography, my people. He thinks he's in Illinois, Michigan, or Indiana. He's a madman. He's a madman.
He just be saying shit. That's all it does. He just whatever comes to his mind, he just be saying it, and it doesn't matter. You say enough stuff, nothing sticks to you, right? It's when you say like 5 things, people remember the shit you say. He's gonna say something more outlandish tomorrow, and you're gonna forget this whole thing. Next topic.
This is true. Okay, a young man wakes up to his house on fire, and like anybody, he runs out of that house. He gets out safely, but then he realizes, oh, damn, I forgot my Xbox. He runs back into the house, gets the Xbox, makes it out safely, but now he has to be treated for smoke inhalation. Hero, good, bad, ugly.
As a pulmonary transplant specialist, this is good because I'm doing it. It might not be an Xbox, but let's keep it 100. As a comic book artist, programmer, everything can't live in the cloud. If you got a 99 character on 2K going and you have a 150 streak, you are not letting that go to waste. You are not letting that go to waste. Smoke inhalation is literally just 6 hours of pure oxygen. I think everybody should get 6 hours of pure oxygen every day. It will help clear the system. I'm surprised it's not built on most people's insurance. Go ahead. Go back and get that damn game, because if your life is crumbling before you and I told you could have happiness incarnate and it came in the form of a black box and it was a 99 character on 2K, who am I to take that from you? Enjoy.
It comes in the shape of a black box. Hey, yo, I mean, that usually does come in my happiness. You know what I mean?
All right, Shake.
The fact that I'm gonna ask Shake to explain this, I'm not gonna mess with this.
Needed, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Usually brings in my happiness too. The shape of the black box. This is so real gamers know. Real gamers know. I can understand if you don't play video games, that's not so like people think that's crazy that you would run back inside. Cause like he's like, yo, my house is already burning down. I'm gonna live in a hotel, right? And I ain't got nothing to do, right? So he's at least thinking after this is over, right? He clearly knew, like, oh, the fire ain't that bad. I can get in and get my console real quick. And like at least he just grabbed the console and a controller and not the TV as well, right? He knew, right? Once the house is over and you put my fire out, right? I'm gonna be asked out. I'm gonna live in a hotel, living with friends, living with family for months while insurance goes back and forth. He needed some entertainment. And like Hero said,
yeah, for sure.
Right, if you ever been like into something, right? It's not irrational why people run back in to grab photos and stuff like that. People would not have an issue if he ran back in to get photo albums, right? It's just what he cared about, right? It's what he cared about.
Okay,
this is an argument to getting more cloud stuff. Like we need bigger cloud storage. This is just an argument to get more stuff on the cloud.
See, therapy. That's what shows you don't play video games. every person who plays video games runs back into the house, right?
Yeah,
Every
like
person, you didn't spend $500 for that new console for if you not to get it, right? You didn't, or your wife or your girl, or you didn't do something for you to do it. It's a completely different world. Completely different world.
Okay, so what is something that you guys would run back in the house to get?
for sure, I would run in and get my CPU. Absolutely. Or if I could extract the hard drives, like 110%.
But you
Like
have GitHub. Do you really
no,
need to
no.
go get the
Well,
computer?
no. But I'm talking about. So for me, I have my life work as far as art is concerned. I have life work as far as imagery and images. Every photo I've ever taken while I was in Africa and all that stuff. Like those are just things that I couldn't pull from nowhere. And even if you thought to yourself, oh, what about cloud storage? I have maxed out 3 Google account cloud storage bundles, which were all over 4 TB. Like it's just too much. So like for me, I think it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I'm an artist. Like that's what I do. I create stuff. So like for me, I would be willing to. I've seen someone receive third-degree burns. I'd be willing to go 2-degree burns for it. Absolutely.
My weed and
Put
my
price on
liquor
your happiness.
collection.
Okay.
My weed and my liquor
Okay,
collection.
see shake. Now see
Weed and
shake.
liquor.
That's bad.
I don't have kids, right? My parents can walk, so they can get out the house. So I just because again, I'm thinking about if my house is burned down, I'm gonna have anxiety. I'm gonna need stuff to calm down. I'm gonna grab at least my 2 favorite bottles, right? Like I already even know which ones I'm gonna grab, and there's an exit by the bar in my house, right? So I can get out of my house and not have to worry about am I trapped, or if I am trapped, guess what I'm doing, baby? Sparking up and having a shot. So either which way, I'm living the way I live. I either die the way I live or I live the way I live. It's all good
we
over
are
here.
we're all passively watching Shake admit to his crippling addiction, and I don't know. I don't know if we want to be. I don't know how much a
It's
part of
more
this I want to
painfully
be.
evident.
Or just because we're
I
diving deeper
told
into
you
his
about 10
psyche.
years now, and it's now just painfully evident.
Okay, so Florida schools are now pulling dictionaries and encyclopedias out of the school libraries. A list obtained by Florida Freedom to Read Project on Thursday showed that 5 dictionaries, 8 encyclopedias were removed, along with the autobiography of Malcolm X and Anne Frank's diary. And I'm sorry, Anne Frank's Diary of a Young Girl. Now, I'm surprised Malcolm X stayed in there that long. Shake, what you got on this?
I mean, again, if you're in Florida and you got kids, pay for private school. That's all I'm gonna say, right? Like, why are you surprised? Like, there's nothing surprising about this about the state of Florida. It's the state of DeSantis is just its education level is going to be so dumb. And really, I'm gonna do a sidebar on this because I read a statistic that like 5 million people from blue states have moved to the like red states. Yes, but you notice that in that move, education levels haven't got better because it's old people, people who don't care about public education because they don't have to deal with public education. Guess what? In 25 years, they're gonna die, right? And people the replacement generation is not the same. So these red states who thinking they're going to be a boom, it's only about 25 years you have, right? In 25 years, by 2050, Florida's going to be a shithole again. Texas is going to be a shithole again because you don't have the replacement generation of educated people. That's the benefit about being a coastal elitist, as I am, is we have replacement generations up here. But yeah, it's just dumb, like bad. I guess the word would be ugly. It's ugly for Florida because like the poor kids that can't afford private school are getting a shittier education, but this is just par for the course. Like it doesn't even faze me. It's just Florida.
Hero, what you got?
I love this in so many ways. I love this in so many ways for all the wrong reasons. Because if you had told me a speed run of this was going to happen, my end would have been like, well, eventually they're going to get rid of the dictionary encyclopedia, which is strange to even hear they still have inside of them. And then next would be the Bible. So on my bingo list, all I got left is the Bible being banned from schools because I know they talk about some explicit stuff there. I know they talk about beheadings in there. I know they talk about how to ravage your woman if she's done right by you and is hosting herself. So this is the ultimate speed run. But the thing that I really want to like lay out here is Ron DeSantis sold his state out for the presidency so he could adhere and appease people who don't even have to vote for him. And his career is over, right? Because he did that 6 week abortion ban in the middle of the night so no one could protest it. He then missed two major hurricanes that then brought him back to his state after wearing those tippy toe shoes out on the campaign trail. So when he had the white boots on, he then looked 2 feet shorter. And everyone was wondering what's the differential. Basically, he wears insoles that make him taller, weird. And then to top it all off, you still lost. You pushed out your biggest employer, Disney, and now you have nothing but a bunch of old people there to ransack you. This would probably be they're probably going to end up voting him out very soon. And ultimately, these schools will be reformed in 5 to 10 years. But the question is, the unfortunate part is these kids will continue to get bad educations or bad fulfillment of education for the next 5 to 10 years while this course correction takes place. Hopefully, a lot of these schools and a lot of these districts take it into their own hands and decide what's best for their students instead of letting the governor do it. But it stands to see. Public school, as a product of public school, I know how valuable and how great they are, but it's a shame. It's truly a shame that a generation of Florida students will never be accepted into formal colleges because literally you can't tell if they have the curriculum to back it up.
Okay, hold on. I have to stop you. I was agreeing with everything you said, but you put all the blame on public schools' decline and how bad they are on Ron DeSantis. There is one person and one person only. Oh, no. There's someone who did Florida wrong well before DeSantis got in there, right? And he did the country wrong. Because I see it every single day when I get on Twitter. George Bush in 2004 with that No Child Left Behind, he ruined about 85% of the public school population in this country, right? There's a lot of kids, and I will say it, who are in their 30s, y'all motherfuckers need to be left behind in the third grade when you couldn't read. You should have stayed in the third grade till they could pass you. They kept passing you. Now we got a whole bunch of people who can't read who are in their 30s. R. Kelly legitimately just this morning said he didn't know he had lost a $10 million lawsuit because he can't read. He's illiterate, right? I just saw someone say someone was born in 1997 that he thought they were 65 years old. George Bush put public school back so far with No Child Left Behind. It's disgusting. It's
what
terrible.
was No Child Left Behind? Because it wasn't as
You
simple as
didn't
if the child is failing, you push them through. It could not have been that simple.
That was the simplest level, but it was then the new.
It was basically a way for poor. Yeah, it was basically a way for poor middle class students or poor below poverty level white kids basically to use homeschooling as a way to progress through the grade schools. Like they used whatever means to say, like, you let this kid back into high school, now these can't go through it. Well, No Child Left Behind states that you can't leave them behind. It was an advantage that just happened to benefit enough people that it didn't matter. But ultimately, it was an abrupt failure because it didn't address the main issue, which was underfunding of school programs.
Okay, and when you have kids who can't read, like parents who grow up who were poor readers and bad at math, growing up undereducated, having kids who, guess what? If your parent can't read at a grade level, right, by the time they quote unquote graduated high school, the likelihood of you reading better than them is basically impossible. So when you're just compounding the issue, and that it just magnified it. But George Bush was the worst. My man Bush.
Here's an interesting fact, and Shake, you might understand, you might know this well, because my grandparents can't read. My parents never felt comfortable enough reading to us as children. But now, as the third generation removed from an illiterate parent household, I feel more than comfortable. I read articles online to the public at mass. So that's just to show you, it took 30 years to repair one person not knowing how to read. So just put that in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And I will put that in perspective as we move to the next article. I'm sorry, the next topic, which is 5 things we like about Fox News. Yeah, this should be a good one.
Ooh,
So, collectively, can we come up with 5 things that we like about Fox News?
He fired
Tucker Carlson
Tucker Carlson.
Hey,
Number
that's a
one.
good one.
because granted, I know he's not on Fox anymore, but I like his ability to just say whatever the hell came to his mind. And then how when he got fired from Fox News, he was like, "Yo, y'all pay me my money, right? And I'm still due to his show." So I respect Tucker Carlson. You can go number 4.
Number 4. I think I got number 4. I like how Fox News can lie to their audience, then tell them we lied to you, and their audience still believes the lie. Like, how do you accomplish that?
You just do it.
Well, you just do it. Your audience isn't a sophisticated group of people. Your audience is a bunch of brain mush people. I remember one of my favorite things to do when I was at the hospital was there was this doctor who loved watching Fox News, and my favorite thing to do was put the child protective lock on the remote so he couldn't watch Fox News anymore. And the amount of how the amount of frustration he showed at not being able to find the channel was bar none great. It was so great that they came in and put it. The janitors came in, brought in a remote, put the channel on there, and then they took the remote out. But guess what? I'm a millennial, and my phone can do anything your remote can do. So I just went on there and changed the channel again using my phone. And my favorite thing to do is to do it when he was in the room with me and he knew the remote was gone. And I'll just be looking at him like, yeah, I don't know why the TV keeps changing. What you gonna do about it, Doc?
That's
so,
crazy.
Yeah.
I got another one. One of my favorite things about Fox News, right? And they literally created this in their broadcast, the skirt cam. So if you notice about Fox News, they're the only ones that sit on Fox and Friends. They sit at a couch, and Fox literally requires all of their female TV personalities to wear basically a miniskirt so you can get up there. So Fox News built into their broadcast sexual harassment.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
You got these women to sign up to public sexual harassment, respectable. As disgusting as it is, respectable to publicly get Megyn Kelly to say, hey, guess what? You're going to sit right in front of national television and constantly do, what was her name? Not from Fatal Attractions, Sharon Stone.
Oh, Sharon Stone, right. With the cross-leg thing.
Sharon Stone.
Indecent Proposal.
Yes,
no, that wasn't
Stone.
it.
No, Indecent Proposal. No, that's not it.
Yeah, that's the wrong movie.
But you got to celebrate the joke.
That's a great one. But I'll take it a step further. I love that after all those lawsuits about the election, that they openly came out and said, one, nobody who of right and sound mind watching Fox News will believe anything Fox News says, which also forced them to then admit that the news in Fox is just something to differentiate them from Fox Sports, from Fox International, from Fox everything. So Fox Cartoons. So they just use the news to entice dumb people because they basically believe nobody in their right mind, of sane and solid mind, would ever take Fox News as literal.
Okay, so that is a defense for defamation, and it is saying that if what you are saying is so hyperbolized or to the point where the average intelligent person would not believe it, then it is not defamation. And that is a defense that they have used multiple times when being sued for defamation for essentially lying on air. All right, so far we got...
I got another one. I love how Fox News keeps getting away with, again, all the sexual harassment lawsuits. This is, again, the shirt cam news and the news broadcaster, right? The skirt cam news broadcaster. And again, women still sign up for the skirt cam. They never changed the skirt cam. It is still shot that way. Fox News still shoots their women exactly the same after paying, I think, Megyn Kelly like 50 to 60 million, right?
Damn.
For sexual harassment, right? Because when Rupert Murdoch was running it, that's why they ran off Roger Ailes. So again, when I say I love the fact, it's ironic how much I love the fact that they can continue to be disgusting, get people to sign out, pay out, and say it's worth the money we get every single day so that some creepy old man right, who has not got up in probably 30 years with pills and everything, can see up Megyn Kelly's skirt for not even a second, is worth paying her out 60 million 10 years later when she
No,
sues us, which is
the
ridiculous.
number one has to be, this has to be. I love that the reason why X-Men Origin Wolverine, the one with the dumb Deadpool, was
Oh,
released unfinished onto the internet was because Rupert Murdoch plugged his DVD and left the DVD stick, thinking that once he plugged it into the laptop and played it, that was it, and then left the thumb drive in a random office in a building that Fox News owned, and someone else picked it up, and that's how it all got sent out there. It's very far-fetched, but if you've ever looked into the story about how that movie ended up, all of those Fox movies ended up on the internet before they were ready and before the CG. More than likely, it's because Rupert Murdoch, who didn't understand what a thumb drive was, plugged it into a laptop, left it on the counter, and then walked away from it. That's a great one.
That
All
is
right.
good.
So we have number 1, Tucker. Number 2, they lie, tell they lie, and the people still believe them. 3, the skirt cam. 4, defamation. 5, flat out idiocracy. And I know that's not a word, but I
Sounds
love
about
it
right.
anyway. All right. Let's move
Sounds
on.
good.
Let's see. What do we have next? The Buffalo Bills, before a playoff game with the Pittsburgh Steelers, were covered in snow. They had a very, I don't know how many inches of snow there is because it's not saying this in this article, but they asked their fans to dig them out. I have an issue with
Okay.
this. Shake, do you?
No,
Whoa.
it's nothing new. They've done it. They've done it for years because like the fans, there is they get like I think a free beer, something off the compensation. They get $20 an hour, and like these are people from Buffalo. They're used to this shit. They're absolutely used to this shit. There's a reason why even with the plans to build a new stadium for the Bills, they're not having a dome because this is what the people of Buffalo like. This is what the Bills fans like. This shit. This is the shit this is the fan base that lights tables on fire and jumps through tables. The Bills Mafia. No one circles the wagon like the Mafia, right? So this is the shit that they like. They like standing outside with a beer in -40 and the beer freezes over. That's that crazy shit that fan base likes. So of course I don't have a problem with it because the owners would have to pay a contracting company to clear out the stadium, who would then just pay people $20 an hour anyway. And the owners are like, well, why don't we just give the people the $20 an hour and we save them money by saying, hey, we'll give you a credit at the snack bar.
Okay, you're absolutely
and
right.
free parking.
It says they were compensated with $20 an hour, but they're in winds that are up to 30 miles per hour and they're facing snow that's falling at 2 inches per hour. Hero, how do we feel about this?
There's a fine line between doing something because of spirit and vigor and wanting to be part of the team is all that, but all that shit goes to the bird because it's nobody shoveling is someone who's hurting for anything. These are not people I'm going to feel bad. This is somebody who's making well into 6 figures. These are people who make well into 6 figures or make enough money that they can sustain themselves to go out into a blizzard during a motion of no movement stated by the governor with a shovel, not only to shovel themselves out, they didn't join the emergency evacuations to help shovel out old people or sick people or get emergency vehicles to stranded people. No, their selfishness went to go take them to the game so that they could watch football. And this is just the mind virus that it is it. But I'm not going to sit here and tell someone who isn't hurting anyone not to do something they want to do. If they feel implied to do it, sure. But I just want to take the snapshot from a different perspective. During that blizzard call, there was over 119 call-outs for people to be requesting to be shoveled out. I wonder how many of those same fans would have gone out to do that if that was the case without a football game that day. And therein lies what a real community is based off of.
I got a question. Hold on. I got a question, and I'm going to bring out the mic for this. Of those 119 calls, how many could throw for 3 touchdowns in 20 mile per hour in a blizzard? They're not Josh Allen, right? None of those 119 calls going to make me feel good. Exactly. Right. And give me $20 an hour. That'd be volunteer work as opposed to paid work, brother. Right? You ain't volunteering me.
So basically, all you're saying is you've won 3 more games than the Cowboys have playoff wise, and that's worth putting your life at risk. Sure, don't worry, Josh Allen. The Eagles, the Cowgirls will be saving a seat for you guys next week on the bench with them.
Let's not talk about the Eagles.
Okay, let me make one correction. The
Next topic.
Median income in Buffalo, New York is $24,000. Actually, $25,000.
Ain't no fucking way.
Yeah,
the median
way.
income.
Ain't no way.
We're talking about Buffalo.
So you
New
need
York
to tell me
this ain't New York, New York.
You're talking about
20,000. It's low.
24,000. There's a stadium there.
Studies have shown stadiums do not help the economy like people think they do.
No. But like, I think as a government, as an entity, we should remove areas. If your area is so poor, you shouldn't be able to have live sports. You shouldn't be able to have live everything until you can afford to have extra shit.
This is a trend with Shake tonight. He hates poor people.
Take it from everybody.
Since the beginning of the show, with the purge, with this, and then now it was like Shake. What? And then last week, like 2 weeks ago, he said, "Nah, if you're poor, I'm better than you," and that's why. Like Shake, don't you like poor people?
No. What I said last week is he is poor and I am better than him, and he knows who I'm talking about, right? He is poor. I make double your salary. Literally,
you make more than double his salary.
Thank you, Icon.
Signing on this, Icon.
Because you haven't met this guy. And if you were to meet this guy, you would understand. That face you're making right now, that's the face you would make every time you talk to that man.
Right. Actually,
this is a man who blames everything on women because he can't get one. This is a man who flew 14 hours in a plane to go to another country to meet a chick because he says there's no good chicks in America. And when he got there, he figured she wasn't good either because she didn't do anything for him. This is a dude who doesn't understand the things that happen in your life are because you made them happen in your life. And until you get up and make something positive happen in your life, the same negative thing is going to keep happening over and over and over again. And blaming all women because you can't get one is not how you go about getting a woman. If you cannot get a woman, this is what you do. For all you in the chat that have a hard time getting a significant other, let me spell it out for you. First, number one, define what a good partner is. Once you define what that good partner is, look at yourself and say, am I what that good partner wants? If you are not what that good partner wants, figure out what it is. And then put yourself in a position to meet that criteria. And once you meet that criteria, then you go out and you say, now I am ready to be with someone else. Not only am I ready to be with someone else physically, mentally, financially, I am there. Now I can go get someone and I can bring the same thing to the table that I want that person to bring to the table. And if you cannot bring those things to the table, stop telling me that there are no good people out there. There are no good people for you because good people are not made for you. Good people are not made for where you are right now. You have the ability to change that. You choose not to. And until you choose to, shut the fuck up.
Yo, guess now. Oh, bravo. Oh my God. Whoa.
Oh,
sir.
Oh my goodness.
I missed that one.
Oh my goodness.
Sometimes you just got something on your chest. You got to get it off your chest.
No.
That in. My goodness.
That was great.
Goodness.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, that was funny.
What was even the topic again?
Next topic. What are you talking about?
Cool.
Next topic.
Cool,
Shake end the stream. Shit,
Cool. I technically, Cody, you won by points. So I think we can end with that. That was a perfect way to end the show.
Having this one.
Yeah,
man.
That is a dub for the moderator. Everyone, wow. We're not gonna. This person doesn't deserve for their name to actually be called out.
Wes, I don't know. Wes,
I needed that.
Wes,
no. Actually, you did.
Had to turn my fan
You actually
on.
do know this person.
What?
That's the ironic part. You've actually interacted with this person. You've interacted with this person one time. Yes.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
And this person does not deserve their. The reason why we sound this way is at one point this person was considered a friend, and like you get mad when you just see someone going down a path, you try and help them, and they just basically spit in your face multiple times, and so like I get it, and you ain't gonna convince me that going. How you gonna go overseas and not get none? You go to a place that's known for sex tourism, and you only get it one time at the end of your trip, and you there for 2 weeks.
And we don't believe he did. Let's be real. You
It's
don't
true.
believe that. But
No, I don't.
let's move on along. We got a few more topics to get out, and whoa. All right. Where are we? My bad, y'all. My bad. 1v1. We're looking at one item at two different points in time. So we're looking at the classic Coke versus the original Coke, which had cocaine in it. Well, of course, we're going to let Shake go first. Which one wins?
I mean, it's clearly obvious. It's the Coca-Cola with the cocaine. Give me the original recipe, right? Like with the straight raw. That's clearly obvious. Like, because soda is bad for you, right? Regular soda is bad for you. So if I'm going to consume soda, right, I'm going to consume it in its best form. Because, you know, it's a better energy drink. For all you who drink Monster and Nas and Red Bull, right, imagine a Coke and rum as an actual Coke and rum. You know what I'm saying? Now that we're cooking with gas, a Coke and rum with a Coke and rum. Like, it'll make partying a lot more fun. You know, no more blacking out. Good and bad. Good and bad for that. Like, blacking out does have its benefits. Put you down. So I don't like this look that Hero's giving me as I say this. I don't like this look.
Because once again, we're going back to a part where Shake is advocating for the most destructive form of injection. Besides the fact that the Coca-Cola of today, if you dropped a living animal inside of it, they would literally disintegrate after 40 days. Is mind-boggling. So like I can't argue for either side here. The part that I want to just stress or elegantly say, what made them think putting a drug of that capacity into the thing? And I'm here to tell you, it's because it was actually enjoyable. It made the drink enjoyable. But I want to tell you, the reason why they stopped putting cocaine inside of Coca-Cola wasn't because people were having too much fun with it. It's because too many brown people could have made money off of it. Because we all know where the best coquina comes from. And it comes from a bunch of brown brothers and sisters from the South. And them making money off of white people's pleasure wasn't something that government in that economy back then wasn't willing to make. So understand, they took away the best possible drink known to man, not because it was too good, but because it was too good for anyone else to enjoy. That's why they took it away.
Okay, so
not because it was good for you, right? Not because we said, hey, maybe you shouldn't be drinking cocaine. They didn't give a damn about that, right?
No.
It was because, you know, wait. Who these niggas making money down there? Who these Negroes making money down there? Oh, nah, bro.
Yeah,
right? You gotta change
yeah.
the recipe. You gotta figure out how to make it.
When that recipe, that first secret recipe, they burnt that one. But the second one, they got that under lock and key still.
Okay, so consensus. We're going with classic Coke or we're going with cocaine Coke?
It's cocaine Coke.
Cocaine Coke.
Clearly cocaine Coke.
All right, so cocaine Coke
like,
it is.
Coke.
If you're gonna drink something that's terrible for you, you might as well drink the stuff that was actually prescribed by your doctor. Let's not forget, you could get codeine and Coke prescribed to you by your doctor in the same doctor's visit back in the day. They were our great grandparents. Well, not ours because we were black, but white people's, right, were zooted back in the day. Your great granddaddy, for the white people in chat, he was getting fucked up. Like he was fucked up, prescribed by his doctor. If you look at old prescriptions, what the doctors were giving people and the dosages, I'm surprised they could stand and walk. They got cars.
Stand and walk.
Our last topic of the night, battle of the sexes. Who is more discreet when handling an extramarital affair? men or women? Really, Shay?
This is gonna hurt us men. They are far more discreet than us, right? Because like for a woman, in a heterosexual relationship, women, and this is like psychologists speaking, when they do studies, they tend to cheat for a much more emotional thing. So emotional reasons. So like if they're emotionally involved, they've got to be much more secretive about it. Where on the other hand, we just don't care, right? That's our problem. That's how we get caught. We don't care about being caught. A lot of times it don't bother us to get caught. And then we'll deal with the consequences later. They, for some reason, care more. That's why they're better for it. They're more likely to involve their friends in keeping up said lie, right? We'll just do this and then trying to have a second phone and forget that we got a second phone on us, right? So they're way better at this. Right? As someone who has friends, both male and female, who have cheated on their significant others, the ones who got caught always were the dudes, right? The ones who didn't get, and the ones who were always accused, but there was never any proof, was the females.
Yeah, I don't know what type of beta shit y'all talking about over here, but I'm not even going to entertain this conversation. Let's be 100% clear. My ancestors aren't rolling in their graves right now because of the blasphemy coming out of Shay's mind. Men hiding their extramarital affairs? What? Bring back the men who just said, I have 2 wives. Are you trying to be number 3 or are you trying to get down on one knee? Pick your poison because I'm not over here to debate. I literally met a dude just over the holiday break where his girl came up to me and said, hey, do you want to take out one of our extra wives because I want him to myself? Because men don't have to explain this. It comes from a culture and understanding. This is not something for anybody and everyone to revel in. There's no discretion here because it's just the natural order of things. They're talking about a group of men who had multiple wives back in the day. We don't hide it because we've never felt the need to do it. She literally has 3 girlfriends and she goes out every night with them and they all order drinks off of his credit card. She literally turned to one of the girls and said, which one of y'all banging him tonight because y'all be getting drinks off his card and he be breaking me in every night. I'm not going to be the only one getting rolled up on every night. So which one of y'all trying to tag in for the night? Literally, women will go out and find you an extra husband, an extra wife if you ask them to. There's no discretion there. I don't even know why we're pretending to hide this anymore. Like, I come from a culture where my grandfather had 21 kids and 7 wives. His oldest daughter was younger than his youngest wife. We don't hide anything here. We invite things here. And that's what we need to do.
See, Hero, you didn't need you're Nigerian, right? I'm Caribbean. Yeah. You didn't need to air out our culture like that. Yes, we come from a culture in which, right, one day some woman's just gonna show up at your aunt's house and she's gonna have a kid and be like, this is your husband, right? We come from a culture which I had a conversation with a friend and we had explained to them what a jacket is. A jacket is one day your wife is pregnant. That kid does not look a lot like you, but you get very much convinced that kid is yours. You have an older, there's one in the middle that's a little off, and then you have one after, right? That first one is dark. That middle one is real yellow, right? And that last one was real dark, and you real dark, right? But homie down the block, he high yellow. He real high yellow. So Hero, you gave up our culture, right? You told about what we do, right? Because we come from a very different culture than Americans. The Western culture, like therapy said, disgusting. We come from a place where you just gonna have kids dropped up on you. It is what it is. Ain't no cheating behind people's back. Ain't no putting knuckle underneath people. It's just
therapy. See, you can judge all you want, but how dare you make fun of our culture? We were doing just fine before your high yellow brothers and sisters and mothers and aunties and uncles came over to visit up on our spot. You feel me? So don't hate how we was living before we live it. We never felt the need to lie because for us, survival of the fittest didn't mean just letting the weak people in our family and our generation line die off. Hey, Auntie so-and-so, you ain't got no money, but you got a wagon. And homeboy down the street with the cornfield, he'll pay for that wagon. So why don't you load it on up and go on up the street to see him? Like, it's all about what you want to make it, but hey, I get it. Times are different. I guess I only have one wife, and I'll be truthful and honest to her, solemnly swear, and hope to die.
Well, also, what you're saying is not an affair because it's a pre-organized arrangement. I'm gonna have you're gonna have multiple wives, and the wives are gonna know each other, right?
Yeah,
so the
that's
question
way
was
different.
which one is discreet, right? And that's what I said for the answer to the question, women are better at hiding an affair. I think women are better because I think we as men just don't give a fuck. I think it's like Hero said, naturally we feel we shouldn't have to give much a fuck, right? We shouldn't have to like hide.
You just gonna see the kid pop up. The kid gonna just pop up. And for me, ain't no lying. Like I'm gonna be like, how old is you? 5, 6, 12? Okay, yeah, checks out. All right, I got some cereal in the back. What you want? I got TV on into
Also,
it. Like
for me, I might look at a kid and be like, "What sports you play?" Right? Right? Like you playing basketball, football.
You're a big boy.
Come back to me when you're 18 years. You can't know me because guess what? Single parents make better pro athletes. Just saying, right? Kids that come from single parents make LeBron James. You didn't tell me he had a daddy in his life. He who else? Who I say? Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler might be the son of Michael Jordan, right? The son of the GOAT. Look at him, right? So I'm just saying,
he literally might be.
Right?
He literally might be.
I'm just saying, like, is he Jimmy Butler if his dad doesn't abandon him and say, yo, you got to be better than me? You know what I mean? Too much love in the house doesn't give you that
every single Kobe Bryant, every other coach, it's just Kobe Bryant's just rolling and you're like, I had both parents and I'm better than all those people you just mentioned.
Kyrie also had both parents in his life. They were basketball players. I'm just saying, but like football players, if you look at the draft, they're always talking about, oh, this person grew up without a mother, without a father, right? That's how you make it to the league. None of this 2-parent household loving you, giving you emotional support. No, you want your kid to be a rapper or go to the league.
Scarred by this side chick lifestyle, man.
No.
I think that's why I tell my parents. Shake's inner Republican is coming out now.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. I tell my parents all the time. I was like, see, y'all doomed me. This is why I couldn't be a professional athlete. I grew up upper middle class, right, with 2 parents who loved me.
It's
right?
not the crippling alcoholism. It's the both parents were in my life. Both parents were in my life, and they loved me.
To be a rapper. That's why I didn't have to struggle to be a rapper.
I'm glad you didn't have to struggle to be a rapper. And I'm also glad that we had another fun episode. Hero, with the narrow victory of 3 votes.
Oh, wow.
Please speak to your... And look. You see what Robotech did? Look at him.
Wow.
Hero, please speak to your audience.
You know what? In honor of Martin Luther King Day, I want to advocate for you guys to take it upon yourself to understand that he did have a dream. And for you to actually envision that dream, you actually might have to be sleepwalking your way through America. Because 60 years ago, if you had told Martin Luther King that your speech would be manipulated and ridden throughout the whole entire news, conservative likes by a bunch of white people who have no belief or recollection that they should have the right, black people should have the right, he would literally probably have a heart attack and the CIA or FBI wouldn't have to waste a bullet to take him out. It's amazing how far we've come, but it's also very depressing to know that a mentally ill woman walking up and down the streets of Memphis almost burnt his house down in December because his house isn't relegated or guarded by any entity or any organization as an iconic piece of treasure for us to protect. The idea of Martin Luther King, if we're keeping it honest, only comes around in February, and I implore you this year, if any year, especially during an election year, to hold true to some of the most iconic things you got, which is your identity, and use that to perpetuate it into a better future recollection. We shouldn't have to have our best times on planet sleeping. But, I mean, that's what it is to have a dream, right?
Very well said. Shake, please address your adoring audience.
Treat your side chicks well. And in case y'all don't know, the acronym, LANK, L-A-N-K, right? No one, wow, that blew. So 2024 has gone so crazy. Y'all don't even know what that acronym was, LANK. Right? Y'all need to get on Twitter, Black Twitter. Let a naysayer know, right? All you naysayers out there, I love you. We'll talk about it next week.
All right. Thank you all for coming out. I do appreciate you all being here. We will be back next Tuesday at 8:15 Eastern. If you missed anything, feel free to go to YouTube, check us out. Actually, go to YouTube, like and subscribe. We do appreciate that. We do need that. And thank you, Mr. Complainy Face. We do appreciate you being here as well. With that being said, again, thank you all for coming out. God bless and good night.
God bless.
Hi, guys.